right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Taking the ice without number 72. The touching pregame tribute for a teen killed in a senseless crime.
Bitter breeze. The gusty winds are delivering Arctic air to the bi-state right now. We're tracking how low the wind chills go as you head out Thursday morning.
An online sale ends with the seller robbed at gunpoint.
Don't commit a crime in St. Anne because, we're going to find you, we're going to prosecute you.
The technology that led to the arrest of 2 teens.
We start tonight at 10 with an Arctic blast that will impact your Thursday. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Right now, temperatures are tumbling after a day in the 50s. So let's get straight over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with the rude awakening we're all in for in the morning.
And you can hear it outside now, those gusty winds picking up around the metro area. Greenville, Illinois, gusting to 40 miles per hour. Pretty close to that in St. Louis. We've had a couple of gusts between 45 and 50 miles per hour showing up. And that's just bringing in the cold air. It's not actually here yet, but it's moving in right now. 2 a.m. until noon, our wind chill temperatures in St. Louis drop below 10 degrees. You're going to need to dress in layers tomorrow morning, along with that cap, along with the gloves, the scarf. We're talking all the weather gear tomorrow morning out the door because these temperatures that are in the 40s right now, it'll feel about 30 degrees to 40 degrees colder than that as we head into tomorrow morning. It's already down to 25 in Kirksville, 14 in Des Moines. The cold front now just to the south of St. Louis. So this is the trend that we're setting through the overnight hours as those temperatures continue to tumble. And you can see the camera out here in Chesterfield bouncing a bit in that breeze as we head through the evening. Here's your wind chill forecast through the overnight hours. By the time we get into the wee hours tomorrow morning, through your early morning rush hour, when the kids are at the bus stop, single-digit wind chills for us. Coldest we've seen so far this season. We'll talk about how long this lasts coming up in just a bit, Kelly.
Tonight, an emotional hockey game is still going on at the Afton Ice Rink.
Yeah, fans have packed the stands to remember Colin Brown, the teen hockey player killed after being hit by a stray bullet on Interstate 55. 5 on your side's Robert Townsend is live in Afton tonight, where Colin's teammates took the ice about 90 minutes ago for the first time since last month's shooting. Robert.
Hey there, Mike. I can tell you this right now, the Afton Americans and the St. Louis Sting are still playing. Afton is leading 3-0. Let me tell you, everybody who showed up here tonight, they tell me this was much more than a hockey game. Long before the first puck dropped, there was a moving moment of silence for 72 seconds for Colin Brown. A beloved and popular Afton Americans hockey player who proudly wore jersey number 72.
Colin is with us. He is here on the ice tonight with us.
Colin's nickname was Brownie.
Whenever he asked for something, it was, may I please? Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you. He's just salt of the earth. Great kid.
Police say on November 23rd, Colin and his dad were on their way home from a hockey game at the Afton Ice Rink when a bullet hit the CBC Junior on I-55 near Loughborough in South St. Louis. The day before Thanksgiving, Colin, just 16 years old, died. 1 week later, still no arrests in the teen's tragic death.
We first had to determine whether it was appropriate to play. Before I could get any responses, Brownie's dad's responded, play, with 3 exclamation points.
On this night, a huge crowd of hockey moms, dads, and grandparents filled these stands to see the Afton Americans and the Sting battle it out. More importantly, though, they came to support the Americans. This was the team's first game without Colin.
It's affected a lot of people.
Beth Fagan's grandson plays for the Sting. She had to be here to support Colin and his family.
And you just kind of just really pray for the family. They have to go on, and they have to find a way to put it together.
A talented young hockey player, a son, a big brother, gone too soon, but not forgotten.
He will always be with us.
We love you, Brownie. We're playing for you.
The community really is rallying around Colin's family. So far, a local hockey group has raised more than $135,000 for his family. We're live in Afton. I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
And a visitation will be held for Colin tomorrow night at CBC High School. It runs from 4 until 9. A funeral mass will be celebrated Friday morning at 10 at the Cathedral Basilica. Crime Stoppers has increased its reward to $25,000 for information leading to an arrest and the teen's death. The shooting happened November 23rd around 10:30 p.m. along I-55 and Loughborough. If you have any information, you can leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers. The phone number is 866-371-TIPS.
Developing tonight, St. Louis police are investigating a deadly shooting in North City. Officers were called to the area of Coleman and Market Streets about 3 hours ago. That's near Vashon High School. Police say one man has died. We are working to find out what led to the shooting and if there are any possible suspects.
Tonight, we're hearing from the mother of the woman shot and killed while working at an East St. Louis McDonald's.
The next time I see her, we'll have to be at a funeral home. So no goodbyes, no nothing.
Authorities believe Deanna Samuel was an innocent victim caught in the crossfire. Her mother and brother also worked at the restaurant on North 24th Street. Angela Johnson said she had just finished her shift before the gunfire started.
By the time I got home, I was receiving a call from one of the young ladies telling me Deanna had been shot. I feel there should be justice because she didn't deserve it.
This is the second homicide at that McDonald's this year. Illinois State Police say nobody has been arrested or charged in Samuel's murder.
New details tonight in an E. coli outbreak that has sickened more than 100 people in St. Louis County. Attorneys representing the victims have now identified a California farm as the source.
The outbreak is now linked to cases in 6 other states. 5 on your side's Laura Marcheski talked with attorneys about how this discovery changes things. Laura?
Attorneys tell me they believe the contaminated lettuce came from Taylor Farms, and now they're looking for them to take responsibility.
As soon as attorneys learned from genetic testing, the St. Louis County E. coli cases were linked to several other states. That pointed right to the supplier or the farm.
We learned today that the lettuce Andres was serving in its salads was from Taylor Farms in California.
Food poisoning lawyer Jory Lange says this isn't the first time Taylor Farms has had problems with E. coli in lettuce and other crops. They want to know how the contamination happened because it could be contaminating future crops.
Either they're not fixing something that had gone wrong in the past, or this is some new thing. You know, this is the same company that's involved in the onion outbreak with McDonald's. That does seem like a separate new instance of E. coli.
Another attorney representing clients in St. Louis County is Bill Marler. He says the most likely source?
It's cattle feces. It's near, growing the lettuce too close to them, growing them in areas where the water supply gets tainted, and then they irrigate the fields.
Now, where does this leave Andres Banquet and Catering? Lange says they're not off the hook.
Andres still sold a product contaminated with E. coli that got 115 people sick. Andres will be able to point the finger at its supplier and will have its own legal claim against the supplier where Andres can get compensated for any loss.
Lange says the farm will likely bear the brunt of the lawsuits.
It is good to know that what Andres is selling now is likely safe. You know, this shouldn't be something that we should be worried about Andres getting anyone else sick.
Now they want to do everything they can to get compensation for families and make sure this doesn't happen again.
A child who was hospitalized for almost 20 days with HUS. So this is really wreaked havoc on people's lives and been a very serious thing.
The St. Louis County Health Department says they have not confirmed the source. A spokesperson for Andres put out another statement saying we still don't know the source and, quote, we reiterate as we have from the onset that it's been unfair to name our company without this investigation being complete.
New signs warning about radioactive contamination are now going up along Coldwater Creek in North St. Louis County. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers began installing do not dig signs this week. They're posted every 50 to 75 feet, warning about the contamination which stems from the development of the atomic bomb during World War II. The signs will remain in place until remediation begins.
The man serving a life sentence for the 1993 rape, murder, and kidnapping of Angie Hausman has died in prison. The Missouri Department of Corrections says Earl Cox died of natural causes on Monday. He was 67 years old. Cox tortured the 9-year-old girl for several days at his Wentzville home after taking her from her bus stop in St. Anne. He then tied her to a tree and left her to die in the Bush Wildlife Area. The case went unsolved for 27 years until investigators used DNA to connect Cox to the crime. He pleaded guilty.
Tonight, 2 teens are in custody after an online marketplace transaction goes wrong.
The duo showed up to the victim's St. Anne home to buy a pair of tennis shoes, only for him to quickly realize they were trying to rob him. New at 10, Brent Solomon shows us how those teen crooks didn't get very far.
OfferUp is a popular website and app to get rid of unwanted items and make a buck. A St. Anne man posted an ad for a pair of sneakers and reached a deal with a potential buyer. Around 3 o'clock Monday, 2 teens showed up to his home on Geraldine Avenue, but they weren't looking to buy.
Took the shoes forcefully from him, went through his pockets, took his cell phone, and took off.
The victim wasn't going down without a fight.
He actually jumped in his car and took off after the kids that just robbed him.
But watch what happened as surveillance video captured the pursuit.
He actually lost control of his vehicle around a turn, smashed into a telephone pole.
The bold teenage criminals kept going.
The bad guys thought they were in the clear, never suspecting within a matter of hours, police would find them 12 miles away in Blackjack.
We were able to use our flock camera system, find what the plate was that was on the car.
When police showed up, one of the teens stayed put. The other took off running.
He actually had the Glock handgun with a 50-round drum magazine still on him. He threw the gun over the fence, over a neighbor's fence as he was running. Detectives chased him down.
They took both into custody, charging them with robbery. Captain Blake Kerrigan says the lesson to learn here, never meet a stranger at your home for an online transaction.
Use a well-lit lot, a well-lit area, somewhere with a lot of people around. Our parking lot is under 24-hour surveillance. Our dispatch monitors the parking lot.
And for criminals looking to make a heist,
don't commit a crime in St. Anne, because we're gonna find you, we're gonna prosecute you, and we're gonna make sure our residents are safe.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Aside from having a crashed car, the victim is doing fine and was able to recover all of his belongings.
St. Louis businessman, civic leader, and philanthropist Sam Fox has died. According to his obituary, the founder and former chairman of Harbor Group started, acquired, or built 249 companies. The Washington University graduate also served in leadership roles with his alma mater, along with Barnes-Jewish Hospital, the St. Louis Art Museum, and the Boy Scouts of America. He also served as ambassador to Belgium under President George W. Bush. Sam Fox was 95.
'Tis the season for giving and taking. Tonight, our Verify team is helping you save your holiday cheer by spotting the most common tricks of scammers. Signing day.
A lot of people don't make it out of St. Louis, so it's definitely good that I'm one of the kids that get to make it out of here.
The hometown football star is making it official, plus the big commits for MIZ.
I just want to represent my state the best I can.
The coldest air of the season plowing into Missouri and Illinois right now. How long the frigid air lingers, and we're tracking the changes coming over the weekend.
Tomorrow, Amendment 3, which restores abortion rights in Missouri, goes into effect, and tonight, a decision on when procedures can begin are in a judge's hands. Voters approved the ballot initiative last month. However, it does not override state laws. The ACLU and Planned Parenthood filed lawsuits to remove state-imposed restrictions. A hearing was held today. The judge did not say when a decision would come down. Planned Parenthood said it could start abortion services as early as Friday if the courts rule in its favor.
Relief tonight for thousands of St. Louisans worried their doctors would soon be out of network. Today, Mercy announced a new multi-year agreement with Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. This comes after months of negotiations. In September, Mercy sent a letter to Anthem patients saying the hospital would stop accepting their insurance in January if no deal was made. No specifics were released. Well, Santa doesn't arrive for another 3 weeks, but Grinches are already trying to steal your holiday joy.
And tonight, our Verify team is looking at the biggest scams this time of year. Here's Brandon Lewis.
Scammers are up to their old tricks with some updated tactics for the holidays to separate you from your money and personal information. So we're going to show you how to spot some of the most common scams using these sources. First up, you'll want to use caution when doing your shopping online. Scammers sometimes set up fake sites that look like real businesses to steal your information or convince you to download malicious software. Here's an example of a scam shopping website that we created. It may even imitate a brand you recognize. How can you know it's a scam? First, check the URL and make sure it's spelled correctly. Then, make sure you end up on a secured website, which is indicated by a lock icon to the left of the URL. Next, be suspicious of unusually low prices. Scammers hope you'll ignore any concerns you have about the site to save a few bucks. And finally, be careful if the site requires you to unexpectedly download software or asks for too much personal information, like your social security number. Scammers also know we're doing a lot of online holiday shopping, so watch out for fake shipment notifications. These are usually phishing emails or texts with links that may allow someone to access your personal information or ask you for money to release a shipment that really doesn't exist. Here's one example that was sent to us by a Verify viewer where a scammer claims their package can't be shipped because of a mistake in their zip code. It asks for some personal information and later a redelivery fee. So, how do we know this is a scam? First, the link in the text message does not go to USPS's official website, which is a big red flag. Next, the Postal Inspection Service says if you never signed up for a USPS tracking request for a specific package, then don't click the link. Carriers leave an official notice in your mailbox when they can't deliver a package. The USPS also doesn't charge a fee for redeliveries. If you're not sure if a tracking message is real, try taking the tracking number provided and doing a search for it on the Postal Service's or other carriers' website. Finally, if you're ever unsure about a suspicious message, contact the retailer directly using a trusted method like their official phone number, email address, or chat feature, and not using the information in the email or text. You can also report scam messages to your state's Consumer Protection Office or the Federal Trade Commission. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What would you like for us to verify? Just send us an email to verify@ksdk.com.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Collin joins us with the weather impact forecast after a really nice day today.
It was nice.
A rude awakening tomorrow morning.
Yeah, there's a weather impact tomorrow morning. I'm not sure it's one most of us are going to enjoy at the very least. I mean, you know, the winds are picking up tonight. You know something's up. The Arctic front has been arriving through the area this evening. It is now just south of St. Louis. This is another shot of Arctic air. So those gusty winds that we've had all day long, you know, they pushed us up to 58 degrees earlier today, but now they've turned to the northwest and they are turning bitter. Single-digit wind chills early Thursday morning. You may see your low tire pressure light come on your car's dashboard tomorrow morning. Temperature and pressure directly related there. One, temperature goes down, pressure usually goes down. It may be a problem for you tomorrow morning with the tire pressure down a bit. If you're out at the Missouri Botanical Garden this evening for the Garden Glow, good for you. It was a good night. Tomorrow night, it's not going to be as mild at all. In fact, we never even get back to 30 degrees tomorrow. We've had wind gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour. St. Charles, I think, actually gusted to 55 within the last couple of hours, but it wasn't on an official observation at the hour. That cold Arctic air, it's up to the north, and it continues to drive into the region. We're down to 45 in St. Louis now, but look at Minneapolis and Bismarck. Single-digit temperatures there, and the brunt of this cold air oozes on in through the Great Lakes and into the Northeast. They are seeing the snow come down right now across much of the eastern Great Lakes, heading into New York, heading into Pennsylvania. Problems there as this cold air really surges on in. We have the gusty winds. We have the cold air surging in. What we don't have this go round is any snow or any precipitation. It'll be sunny tomorrow, bright, but it's not going to be beautiful. Our temperatures tomorrow morning are down into the teens. The wind chills walking out the door tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock are in the single digits, even maybe a little bit below zero to the north of St. Louis. So we're layering it up tomorrow morning out the door. Gloves, scarves, hats too. In the afternoon hours, our wind chills are just back into the double digits. Right now in St. Louis, it's 45 degrees, but it feels like it's 36. That northwest wind at 23, gusting over 30 miles per hour. 58 was the high today. It'll be a few days before we see that, but it is in our forecast heading into the weekend. Temperatures tonight dropping into the teens. Again, your wind chill tomorrow morning running around 5 to 10 degrees in St. Louis. Back into the mid-20s tomorrow afternoon, and that's it for the high. We'll get to our low of 17 tomorrow night, probably early on, and then hold steady from about midnight on. Look at your warming trend going into the weekend. 58 as we head into Sunday afternoon. Probably some rain showers on the way for late Sunday afternoon, and more likely into Sunday night and early on Monday. The next batch of cold air next week's not really cold by the definition we set tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, Mizzou had quite a national signing day, and some St. Louis kids are going to some of the best football schools in America. Plus, a couple of Blues got some great news today.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
Recruiting classes are like pancakes. One tasty one is pretty good, but if you stack them, it's really good. Eli Drinkwitz and the Tigers are stacking recruiting classes in Columbia. The 2025 class is a top 20, and it includes 10 four-star players, and quite a few of them are from the area. Let's begin at Eureka, where big Jack Lang signed at 7:30 this morning. He's the #1 recruit in the state. 30 minutes later, our camera shot the big moment for East St. Louis defensive back Charles Bass. Next, we're at Althoff. The state champion lineman Jason Dow enjoyed his special day, and so did a nice crowd on hand. And we finished at DeSmet, where linebacker Jason King is having a special week, signing today and maybe a state title on Friday.
I just want to represent my state the best I can. It's a big opportunity, and I'm taking it as a blessing.
I'm very hardworking, and I can't wait to get to work.
And then Coach Drink too, I can really see myself playing for him, and I think they have a great plan for me, and they'll develop me into not only a better player, but a better man also.
Praying and thinking about it is more, why would I not choose Missouri? Why would I not go here? Why would I not be in this family atmosphere? So it's been nothing but a blessing, and I can't thank God enough that I'm be able to be here and be able to call myself a true Tiger.
I know we signed the top player in the state for back-to-back years, which is always important to us. We signed players from 10 different states. We've got 10 early enrollees, and we signed 4 players ranked in the top 100. So incredibly proud of the players that we were able to get, and look forward to continuing to work to build our roster through retention of the current players, the signing class we have now, in the transfer portal.
The city of East St. Louis is known as the City of Champions. That's because the Flyers win football games like few other programs in America. Last weekend, they won their 11th state title. And today they celebrated. I want you to look at our drone video from our chief photographer, Randy Schwenker. What a crowd on hand. The marching band led the way on this beautiful day on the east side. And then the players came in on the fire truck, a day the program will never forget.
It's been a beautiful year for us. You know, our kids really put the time in. They put the time in all season, and like I said, I'm proud of these guys. They get an opportunity, like I said, to celebrate themselves and have the community celebrate them.
So they lined the stairwell at CBC for their signing day. I think they just wanted to get out of class, don't you? Congrats to some special talents. Corey Sims, the wide receiver, headed to USC, and Tristan Abram, the defensive end, signed with Indiana. Huge signing day at Cardinal Ritter. The Lions had 8 signees today going all over the country. Their quarterback is headed north to play for Brett Bielema's Illini. Carson Boyd may not be the biggest quarterback you've ever seen, but he's a proven winner, and he always carries a little chip on his shoulder.
Coaches, they talked to me a lot about just the 2 state championships and just me being a winner. So it's a plus knowing that I'm going in there used to winning, and hopefully I can bring some national championships to the University of Illinois. There's always a chip on my shoulder, you know, knowing that I'm not the 4 or 5 star 6'3", 6'4" kid. It's always been a chip on my shoulder since I was younger, so it's nothing changed.
Fresh off his state championship record, 7 touchdowns and over 500 yards for Althoff's De'Aaron Hill. Well, he's headed to the #1 team in the country in Oregon, and this explosive talent is ready to keep winning.
My goal is always to win, and that's win as many championships as we can. And I know Coach Landon, his mindset is the same, so as soon as we touch down there in Eugene, it's to win everything. Win every game and play with violence, like Coach Semp says.
What a week for Jordan Binnington. The wins record, the ceremony, and tonight he was named to Team Canada for the upcoming 2025 NHL for Nations Face-Off. Joining him on the squad is defenseman Colton Parayko. The 31-year-old leads Blues defenseman with 4 goals and 12 points. So congrats to those 2.
Frank, thanks. We'll be right back. Just 90 minutes ago, they flipped the switch on the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree in New York City. That tradition dates back to 1933. The 50,000 LED lights and 900-pound Swarovski crystal star will stay lit until mid-January.
And a holiday homecoming this week on NBC. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer will air Friday night at 7 on 5 on Your Side. That is 60 years to the date it premiered on the Peacock Network. The Christmas special aired on another network for the last 50 years. An encore will air December 12th.
Here's how old I am. I remember when it debuted. I watched it with my grandfather in our den.
Sweet, though.
Long time ago. There you have it. 5 on Your Side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+.
And start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.
It's a Friday night.